Water wave single dad pulled a girl from the waves. The beach was alive with laughter. Children squealed as they chased gulls, couples strolled hand in hand, and families sprawled across colorful blankets, their picnic baskets spilling with sandwiches and sodas. The sky stretched wide and blue, the kind of perfect summer afternoon that begged to be remembered. But Daniel Monroe wasn't here for leisure. Not really. Standing ankle-deep in the cool Atlantic surf, his son Liam splashing a few feet away, Daniel let the salty breeze wash over him. His eyes scanned the horizon, sharp and cautious. Most people saw only shimmering beauty when they looked at the sea. Daniel saw something else. Movement. Energy. A mood. He had grown up on these shores, the ocean his first playground, his first teacher. He'd learned the power of the tides, the subtle shift of a current, the hidden danger beneath what looked calm. That knowledge never left him, not even now, decades later. He turned his head, smiling faintly as Liam laughed, his small body leaping into the waves and retreating, over and over. 10 years old, curious and brave, with sandy hair that caught the sunlight. He was the reason Daniel woke up each morning. Being a single dad wasn't easy, working 2 jobs, stretching paychecks, balancing exhaustion with patience, but when Liam smiled, it was worth every sacrifice. Daniel's guard never dropped though, especially here. The ocean gave joy, but it could just as easily take it away. And then he heard it. A scream. It wasn't playful or mischievous. It was sharp. Terrified. A sound that sliced through the laughter of the beach like shattered glass. Daniel's gaze snapped toward the water. There 30 yards out a girl was thrashing against the pull of the waves. Maybe 15, maybe 16. Her arms flailed wildly, her head bobbing in and out of the surf. She coughed, sputtered, disappeared for a terrifying second, then reappeared, gasping. Around him, people shouted. Some ran closer to the shoreline, others pulled out their phones. But no one moved into the water. No one but Daniel. He didn't think. He didn't hesitate. His body reacted before his mind could. Stay here, Liam. He shouted over his shoulder, and then he was running, pounding across the wet sand, the world narrowing to a single point, the girl drowning before his eyes. The ocean slammed into him as he dove headfirst into the waves. The current was stronger than he'd imagined, tugging him sideways, dragging him back. He fought against it, arms slicing through the water, lungs burning as he swam with powerful strokes. The girl's cry was weaker now, swallowed by the roar of the surf. She slipped beneath the surface. No. Daniel's heart lurched. He kicked harder, ignoring the ache in his muscles, the sting of salt in his eyes. He dove, his hands searching blindly through the murky depths until there. An arm. He grabbed hold, yanking her upward with every ounce of strength he had. They broke the surface together, the girl limp and coughing violently. She thrashed once, then stilled, exhaustion overtaking panic. I've got you. Daniel shouted, though she probably couldn't hear him. He wrapped an arm tightly across her chest, angling his body sideways the way he'd been taught years ago as a lifeguard. With his free arm and legs, he kicked, letting the rip current drag them out until he could find the right angle to swim back in. Wave after wave crashed over them, salt water choking his throat. His muscles screamed, his vision blurred. But he didn't let go. Not once. Finally, mercifully, his feet scraped sand. He staggered forward, half dragging, half carrying the girl until they collapsed onto the beach. A circle of onlookers closed in, their shouts a blur in Daniel's ears. He laid her gently on the sand. Her face was pale, lips tinged blue. She wasn't breathing. Panic clawed at him, but Daniel shoved it down. He tilted her head back, pinched her nose, and began CPR. Compress. Breathe. Compress. Breathe. Come on, he muttered between breaths, his voice raw with desperation. Don't you leave me. Not today. The crowd held its breath, silent now. Time stretched, unbearable. And then she coughed. A violent spasm racked her chest, seawater spilling from her lips. She gasped, air rushing back into her lungs, her body convulsing with life. Daniel exhaled shakily, relief crashing over him. He brushed wet hair from her face. You're okay, he whispered. You're safe. But when her eyes fluttered open startlingly bright, filled with fear and confusion, the crowd gasped as one. Because they knew her. Whispers surged through the bystanders. Phones lifted higher. It's her, someone breathed. Is that, oh my God, it is. The missing girl. The one from the news. Daniel frowned, confused. But as he looked closer at her face, recognition hit him like a wave. He'd seen her picture plastered across newspapers, TV screens, online headlines. The missing heiress. Gone for months. Thought to be kidnapped, maybe worse. Her disappearance had been a mystery that gripped the nation. And now she was here. Alive. The girl's trembling hand reached for him, gripping his arm. For a moment, her eyes locked onto his, wide with gratitude and fear. The sound of sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Lifeguards and paramedics rushed across the sand, kneeling beside her. Daniel stepped back, muscles trembling with exhaustion. His chest rose and fell in ragged gasps. He watched as they lifted the girl onto a stretcher, her delicate frame dwarfed by the equipment around her. A paramedic glanced up at him. If you hadn't pulled her out, she'd be gone. You saved her life. Daniel could only nod, words stuck in his throat. He turned then, searching, and found Liam at the edge of the crowd. The boy's eyes were wide, his face pale. Daniel walked to him, pulling him into a tight embrace. Dad, Liam whispered against his chest. You saved her. Daniel kissed the top of his son's head, holding him close. I did what anyone would do, he murmured. But deep down, he knew not everyone would have. Not everyone could have. The ambulance doors closed with a slam. Red and blue lights flickered across the sand, reflecting in the stunned faces of the crowd. Reporters were already pushing forward, cameras flashing, voices rising in urgent questions. But Daniel didn't answer. He didn't care about the chaos, the headlines, the story that would sweep across the world. All that mattered was that somewhere tonight, a girl who had nearly been lost to the waves would take another breath. And that, for one brief moment on the sand, a single father's instinct had changed everything.